welcome to TWC 18. We've got some live and some semi-live, aka just played, games. First up, we've got PSiArc versus Donato in round 1 of TWC 18 OCE. So we've got PSiArc here on Delhi, and we have Donato here on French. And they should be using a UI mod map, but they're not. Motherfuckers. Anyway. PSiArc. Sorry, Donato going. Yeah, sorry, PSiArc going on the berries. Donato just gathering off that single sheep at the moment. Here we go, all the other sheep are going to start running through. PSiArc switching from sheep to berries because I think it's faster on the berries for Delhi. But then as he starts going to the furthest one, he can actually have half the villagers gather off the sheep. Can be just as efficient. Donato looking to gather some gold now. So French, you know, typically going to open like this, working towards their knights. But the French player has to be a little bit careful in this matchup. It's easy for them to sort of let the Delhi player get ahead with the misplay early. And Delhi can definitely steamroll with the scholars in their production. They've actually got quite good later age 2, long age 2 fighting capability. Especially if you let them get ahead early, because you don't get quite the value you need out of the early raids. Or you don't necessarily take the right transitions path for the situation as a French player. Donato doing well to find a lot of sheep because French, you know, the imperative is on them really to get a good sheep count. Delhi not so much, obviously. You're just going to go for the berries because you're going to gather all that extra food out of them and a little bit faster. So efficient production and piety coming in. Then we're going to see Sanctity and All-Seeing Eye as soon as he gets to feudal. So Donato going for the scored cav. So just for his Dome of the Faith. He's going to have it rallied straight back on to the mosque. Obviously, as soon as that finishes up, he wants to start training more scholars out of it because they're going to be half price. Sorry, almost half price. Bit of scout harass here from Donato. Villagers taking the long way around there to drop off. I wonder if PSiArc's looking to try and surround the scout here. Or if it's just buggy villagers. Man, AoE4 has such a slow early game compared to what I was discussing. I was just doing AoE2 Deathmatch, man. It's the most edgy seed format I've ever played. I've played a lot. The scout harass, not quite going to be able to pay a dividend just yet, but while this is going on, it does mean that the knights are going to be able to clean these villages up with ease. That French are all about that early knight commitment, or at least early. We see a scholar even being used to try and heal up the villagers to avoid dropping them early. At the same time, it's going to slow down the upgrades coming in here. A scholar this early, I mean, a bit of healing. All these bills here, and I think they self-heal when they're not healing. Oh no, he's just healing the bills. Yeah, he's going to go Sanctity. It's going to take 3 minutes though, unless he can get another Scholar or two in. I suppose going for this early Scholar is mostly just here for the healing, to try and counter early Knight commitment. So Donato's going to go for it anyway, because I mean if he can pick off the Scholar now that he's starting to get low, that could also be a bit of a boon for him. Another Scholar just going into the barracks actually. So Sanctity. It's going to be a bit of a world away here for PSiArc. Donato just applying the pressure on those Vils. Even with a Knight. PSiArc has the gold he needs to get, well, I guess just a couple more Scholars really, because I was going to say upgrades, but they cost nothing for Delhi. He's going to look at going for a second TC here. Now he's just content to get some Spearmen out. Donato behind this going to go for a second TC. He's only made the one Knight by the look of it. Two Knights, sorry. He's going to try and poke and prod it. PSiArc here, he's going to get a Vil kill for his troubles. So this is nice for Donato. Even though he's lost a bit of health on the Knight, he's not actually lost any value here. He's sniped a Vil. So we can do that once or twice. He can really give himself a bit of an opportunity to get away with having such a quick second TC before the Delhi player can just look at shoving with, you know, Knight with Horsemen and Spears. Because obviously the French are probably going to follow up to try and kill the Spears with your own archers. On top of that, the Spears for PSiArc going to be able to wall off and at least prevent Donato from able to do that run by just as easily as he did then. Going to have to come in from this other far side. So he could always shift this pair around and do it. Try and get another one here. So double blacksmith here for the Delhi player. Going to get quick upgrades on the way for PSiArc. He's up to 3 Scholars in the mosque. He's going to really speed up his upgrades pretty quickly, by about a third at this age. Now, PSiArc committing to walling up the other side of the map, so... Ooh, now they're going to pick up another couple of Vils. Well, another Vil, sorry. Force the rest to garrison. It's just keeping an eye on that hunt. Just wanting to know where PSiArc's looking to expand to next, because bearing in mind PSiArc is either going to go for this hunt or these berries. Either way. A lot of Spears now. Oh no, he's going to go for the mill on the front side actually. Sort of forced that to play a bit more aggressive. Because he's sort of walled himself in and worried his opponent's going to keep an eye on things over here. And now Donato is going to have to back off a little bit until he can get some of his own mixed production. He's getting Spears actually. Because he's anticipating Horsemen here. In fact, if he just goes with Spear Knight, this is quite good for him. So you can even have the Spears engage both Spears and Horsemen and then just follow up with the Knights charging in. Just relying on that big burst of damage that they're going to have over the other units in the fight. You really don't want to have the Knights tanking though. At least only have them tanking briefly. PSiArc actually got 3 Scholars here. All of them out of his mosque. It's interesting why he hasn't either split them up to take all 3 sacreds or left 1 or 2 of them back in the mosque. So it is a bit risky to have all 3 in there at the once. But I suppose this way they heal each other up and you can just look at splitting them up across the other 2 and bringing 1 home from here. But Donato getting a lot of infantry on the way. Actually, he's gearing up to get a lot of man-at-arms behind this, I think. He's getting a fair bit of food and gold banked up here. This knight. Have to be very careful to keep him alive. Oh, getting trapped there. PSiArc surrounding him and picking him off. PSiArc now going to get access to 2 Sacred Site Gold Gen, which is the same as having 2 relics before any sort of relic bonuses. But yeah, double spear production here for Donato, and he's got the gold to age up, so he's going to start getting chivalry and keep producing knights just to stay at 600 gold. So as soon as he gets the food, he can age, I think, is perhaps the idea here. Oh, he's unlucky to miss. He's running straight past that scholar. He could have picked that off. But a nice little boon for him. So he's going to keep on pushing forward and get this horseman back out. Actually, there's only the 1 spear. He can pick him off. Stay around here for a little bit more damage. Before having a retreat and being French with that chivalry upgrade, he's going to start healing on all his knights as soon as they disengage from fights. So PSiArc behind this, what's he going to go for? Having to quite aggressively gather this food because he's worried about this top side, but he's already having to expand onto it as well. With how food heavy he's trying to play right now. So Donato, in that Royal Institute, he wants access to those early upgrades at a bit of a discount. It makes him a little bit cheaper. 30% cheaper, and you also get access to your Age 4 unique techs in Age 3, well, Age 4 unique upgrades in Age 3. PSiArc just making sure the knights can't mess with him at all at home. Lots of walls. His first Sacred Site, and this other one's gonna get snatched up. He's going to want to try and bring that scholar out, unless he can look at actually overpowering in this fight. He's got plenty of spears though. So Donato, a little bit less on the field at the moment, but he's not worrying about sticking around. He's just going to force, use of a gate there. So the spears themselves can't repair, but this way you at least save the wall from dying. So really smart play there by PSiArc, but now Donato, slight tech lead over him. PSiArc's now going to be looking at aging up. Getting compounded the defender, nothing really flashy out of it because really only just lets your tower emplacements be cheaper. You're not going to see people use stone towers in tournaments, and not a lot of stone walling. Nice little raid here from PSiArc now, finding a bit of an opportunity before Donato can punish him for it, but he's going to have to retreat because he doesn't want to fight on a town center with a comp like this. A bit too early to really go balls deep. So Spear's mostly engaging, neither player wanting to really stick around with Cav, but Knight v Horseman is really Knight favoured. But Donato really forcing PSiArc to have to take a rough fight under the TC as well. Well, the spear's being used to try and whittle down the scholars now. There's a lot of scholars there from PSiArc there. He's having to try and save them with the spears, a bit of a sacrifice. Donato getting raw bloodlines behind this, so 35% increased Cav health, so Knights suddenly become super tanky, on top of the fact that you're going to get their veteran upgrade. Just really started to surge ahead there, so another 80 health on them. The fact that they've gotten that veteran upgrade, a bit extra health and damage as well. And now Donato is really taking the fight to PSiArc, who's going to have to get vet spears, and he's actually still got a scholar garrison in there, which he could take out and actually put back in the mosque and speed up all of his upgrades. PSiArc just struggling at the moment from this great pressure, tech and push coming from Donato here. Now some horsemen inside Donato's base though, so he's having to be a bit careful with villagers at the moment. And he has snatched back those sacred sites. PSiArc really only afforded the one tower rally at the moment. Second on the way. And that spear upgrade taking its sweet time, because again, PSiArc has got a scholar left in this military building that he could shift over to the mosque, because while it does double the production speed of the units, it doesn't actually benefit the upgrade being researched. You need to have him over in the mosque, and then it benefits all upgrades. Tarrelly being attacked right now. He's going to be able to get healed through this, so not the greatest of engagements there by Donato, but he's only going to lose a couple of knights, and things are looking great for him at the moment against PSiArc. Another relic in the mosque there for PSiArc. One of the advantages of playing a civ that plays around their priest units, or their monk units, is that they're actually gonna have quick access to the relics. It's quite hard to force them off them, especially Delhi, considering they're so active with sacred sites early on. That's the only civ to do so until castle. So the knights, a good read of where the allies are at, but at the same time they can't really engage on them. So the sacred site's going to get snatched back by PSiArc at the moment. We've got upgraded vet spears here, and a whole bunch of royal knights. A lot of villagers being pulled out of here. Because there's no... Oh, actually, they're not pulled out of here. There's no mill, so they're actually distance gathering. It's quite a bit of a trip there. So PSiArc can breathe a bit of a sigh of relief. But Donato, as much as he's got a lot of value early on in this game, a great score lead, he's actually going to start to lose it a little bit, because that's 33 villagers just running back and forward over all that distance. That's a huge chunk of eco at the moment. Like Donato, as much as he's on second TC, he's up to 94 vils. And PSiArc able to defend his scholar there. PSiArc only on 53 vils at this point. Most of that worker lead's actually really nullified by this huge distance gathering. Scholar's going to get picked off before he can take the sacred, but the knights are going to have to get out of there. So they're picking off one of the scouts. PSiArc now forcing a little bit of garrisoning here. Another couple of towers to be thrown down. So Donato with that Springle Tower, able to whittle away at units as well. Oh, but these vils aren't going to be able to get up that other tower in time. They're going to fall to Donato's Knight's Blade. Knights hesitant to engage on the spears. They're going to, again, try and take that second engagement, get the charge off. A little bit of extra damage without actually running headfirst into spears, instantly targeting them. PSiArc, I don't know if he's got enough to actually defend these allies. They're going to be able to cut through a lot of the knights, but there's also spears to fill the cracks here. Donato, it's been a great fight for him at the moment. He's lost the tower and a little bit of his army, but he's picked off 3k resources just at the back end of that fight right there. That's really rough for PSiArc, who's dipped below 3k score at the moment. These villagers are still distance gathering for Donato though. So he's probably not quite as far ahead as he should be at the moment, because these vills are taking so much longer to get through these berries than he should. Really, he needs to be... He should already be onto this berries. I think he's just been that concerned with taking the fights. Well, PSiArc, well, what does he do for me? I mean, he's got a market. He started getting any traders yet? No. I mean, he possibly could, you know. He's already generating quite a bit of gold, so as long as he puts a little bit into his wood gathering, I guess he could look at fitting some in. I guess he needs to... Well, then it wouldn't be the greatest of market lines anyway, but I don't know. I like markets. AoEO player things. Caravans OP. Donato walling off his... Oh, sorry. Keeping off his gold. He should be able to get this, and I mean, as he's played 2 TC, there's not really a huge drama in him bleeding some vills. Like, he's... You know, PSiArc's on sub 60 villages. Donato's on 99. Things looking great economically for him, and he's really going to break the front line once again. And if he can overwhelm these Ellies, I think it might be game over for PSiArc here, because he's just going to have nothing in the bank. Like, that's 5k worth of army there, and it's not going to be able to take a fight against all of these knights and spears. Just decimate that tower. PSiArc probably needs to just get these guys back and try and defend. Try and get under the keep as best he can here. Outpost not going to last much longer. A lot of these scholars going down. 4 more in the queue there out of the Dome of the Faith. Like I said, there's an impressive gold eco here for PSiArc. He could even make traders and even expand on that, build a further, more distant market, but wall it in, and really try and catch up economically through that. But things are rough, and he's just decided to tap out from here. He spent Donato's done it.